this dagger in me and removed it. Gain the weight of you, then lose it.
But what would you do if I break free and leave us in ruins, took this dagger in me and removed it, gained the weight of you, and then lose it? That reminds me of a classic joke. What's the quickest way to lose 140 pounds of unnecessary weight? Get a divorce. All right. Thanks, folks. That's my time. I'll see everybody tonight. Please tip your waiters and waitresses, all right? Sunshot brought a message from the fat man. Sorry, boy, to leave you high and dry, but I went to see my mom in Ensenada, and I left a little something to help you pass the time. Just a little something to help to keep you high. Bananas and blow, ooh, bananas and blow. Stuck in my cabana, living on bananas and blow. Welcome back to my channel. Andy here, giant man wearing shorts to watch for you. Oh, it is lovely to be back with you all. I hope you had a lovely week. Today, we are not talking about Bananas and Blow, which is a song also about cocaine. And I realized while singing this song that I've done a bunch of songs about on this channel, and I don't know, I don't do I don't like. I am not advocating in any way for anybody to do avoid. I just said 9 times. I'm going to bleep a bunch of those just for sake of the algorithm. Anyway, moving on to a totally different subject. Before I start, I want to just let everybody know that today, for the special portion at the end of the video that I will be doing for my patrons, I will be going on to the Reddit for this particular song. I'll be learning about some of the theories behind what this song is about. So that will be at the end of this video for the patrons, along with the rest of the full version. And so, without further ado, Tolerate It by Taylor Swift. Yeah, it's not too loud.
I sit and watch you reading with your head low. I wake and watch you breathing with your eyes closed. I sit and watch you and notice everything you do or don't do. You're so much older and wiser, and I wait by the door like I'm just a kid. Use my best colors for your portrait. Lay the table with the fancy shit and watch you tolerate it. If it's all in my head, tell me now. Tell me I've got it wrong somehow. I know my love should be celebrated, but you tolerate it.
Really just easy, simple. So right off the bat, I'm struck by just the kind of the unusual sound, that D major 7th right at the opening. You have songs begin with major 7th chords. It's not that unusual, but just to have a 2-chord song with 1 major 7th, and just to have that out of tune E major. She determines the rhythm of the song just with her vocal. And she's singing with kind of a backbeat, kind of a little bit of a funky rhythm to it. Again, singing very solemnly over a major chord song, kind of creating that melancholic feel. So she starts on the one, I sit and watch you reading with your head low. so for when you first start hearing it, it just sounds like D major 7th is on the 1, that E major is on the 2, right? But in fact, what's happening is that's on the 2, and we learned that from her vocal. So it's I too and watch you reading with your head low, right? Just kind of a little bit of a switch up for your brain as you kind of enter the song, which I like. I like the kind of added rhythm of it. I sit and watch you reading with your head low. I wake and watch you breathing with your eyes closed. So the first thing that I'm hearing, and I know this is not it, but it's just the first thing I'm hearing is like a kind of a puppy. Kind of watching their master, watching their owner, observing everything you do. If you own a dog, you know that your dog, is my dog looking at me right now? Your dog will just sit and stare at you for hours, just trying to understand your mood, understand how you're feeling, understand if it's time to go for a walk. I think of somebody studying somebody so closely, just trying to understand them and understand their motivations and the weird way they kind of operate. And why does that person do that? And somebody's just cool and interesting, and you kind of want to study them a little bit. You're like, look how cool this person is that I get to hang out with and sleep with. And I can see it feeling a little creepy to feel like I watch you breathing and with your eyes closed. It's a loving thing, of course. And I wait by the door like I'm just a kid, use my best colors for your portrait, lay the table with the fancy shit and watch you tolerate it. I wait by the door like I'm just a kid. That's literal. I'm waiting for you to come home. I'm waiting to see you. I think of her maybe saying that she's painting, she's dressed up, she's put on makeup, this is your portrait, or like a kid waiting by the door coloring for their parent to come home or something. And she's also saying, I wait by the door and I present myself in a certain way. I lay the table with the fancy shit. I kind of put out I make it. I do my all for you. I present as loving and dutiful an image for you as I can, and then watch you kind of just be able to like it, just be able to tolerate it. I do everything. I bend over backwards, and I watch you just kind of be able to conceive of it as something that you're willing to accept as the gesture of somebody who loves you just enough. Especially if you were raised by somebody or had a formative relationship with somebody who's a narcissist. It's really heartbreaking, I think, to want a reaction, to create everything around a certain event, and then to really want a reaction, you don't get it. If it's all in my head, tell me no. Tell me I've got it wrong somehow. I know my love should be celebrated, but you tolerate it, right? And again, we think about that word tolerance. Like we think of like racial tolerance, right? And tolerance isn't really what you want. You want racial equality. You want racial celebration. You want everybody to be able to celebrate who they are racially and feel good about it and not feel excluded or diminished. And we tolerate things that we're willing to kind of accept. All right, racial equality, racial tolerance. It's not what you want, but it's kind of the least somebody could do. It's so kind of arrogant and dismissive and let them eat cake, and the person bends over and prostrates themselves on the floor, and it can't be prostrate themselves on the floor.
Prostrate.
They prostrate themselves. They get on the floor for the queen, and she just kind of like walks by them. It's kind of like that. That's the kind of feeling I get from the word tolerate in this song, that she feels like she's bowed down to this person and that they're just barely with her. All right, next verse. Here we go. Digging the song, moving right along.
I greet you with the battle heroes. Welcome. I take your indiscretions all in good fun. I sit and listen. I polish plates until they gleam and glisten. You're so much older and wiser, and I wait by the door like I'm just a kid. Use Use my best colors for your portrait. Lay the table with the fancy shit and watch you tolerate it. If it's all in my head, tell me now. Tell me I've got it wrong somehow. I know my love should be celebrated, but you tolerate it.
This verse seems less metaphorical. I greet you with the battle hero's welcome. Like we were talking about. I greet you with all of my love, a huge celebration of you when you come home. I take your indiscretions all in good fun. When you sleep with other people, boys will be boys. I sit and listen. I don't respond. I let you opine on whatever topic you'd like to. I polish plates until they gleam and glisten. The more I read about this, the more I think it's maybe not about her. I don't see her polishing plates until they gleam and glisten.
While you were out building other worlds, where was I? Where's that man who threw blankets over my barbed wire? I made you my temple, my mural, my sky. Now I'm begging for footnotes in the story of your life, drawing hearts in the byline, always taking up too much space or time. You assume I'm fine, but what would you do if I break free and leave us in ruins? Took this dagger in me and removed it. Gain the weight of you, then lose it. Believe me, I could do it. If it's all in my head, tell me now. Tell me I've got it wrong somehow. I know my love should be celebrated, but you tolerate it. I sit and watch you.
Piano, drum machine, program, bass, guitar, and keyboards. I'm looking for actual strings. So violin by Yuki. Okay, so they actually did have a violinist and a cellist and a percussionist. You can hear those very subtly. They don't kind of overwhelm the song. They don't come in. We don't get the big swell or the big timpani roll in. Orchestration, again, very subtle, it's like a good referee, you don't notice them, but they're there. Your brain will pick up things, even if you don't listen. The next time you listen to a song, actually, it's really fun to do this. If you listen to a song that you've listened to 1,000 times, try listening to it again, but listen to the bass, or listen to the guitar, or listen to a certain part of the song that you haven't listened to before, and specifically listen to that. You'll hear all kinds of new things. It's just a perspective shift that your brain needs. While you were out building other worlds, where was I? Where's that man who'd throw blankets over my barbed wire? It seems like she's actually saying, I was here, I was waiting for you, I was at home. I was, where's that man who'd throw blankets over my barbed wire? Who'd kind of defeat my ambivalence about the relationship, or the man who would kind of calm me, or smooth over the rough edges of me, who'd get past all of my defense mechanisms for relationships and things. I made you my temple, my mural, my sky. And now I'm begging for footnotes in the story of your life. I made you my everything. You're my religion, basically. Now I'm begging for footnotes in the story of your life. I'm begging just to be involved. Just tell me, what did you get up to last night? Where'd you go? What'd you guys do? Drawing hearts in the byline. I picture somebody drawing a heart in the margin of a book, or on the byline of an article, just somewhere off to the side. She feels very off to the side, always taking up too much space or time. Again, often people who are involved in relationships with narcissists will feel like they are too much. They are too much time. They require too much care. They aren't deserving of these things where other people are. She was continuing the thought, but what would you do if I break free and leave us in ruins, took this dagger in me and removed it, gained the weight of you and then lose it? That reminds me of a classic joke. What's the quickest way to lose 140 pounds of unnecessary weight? get a divorce. All right. Thanks, folks. That's my time. I'll see everybody tonight. Please tip your waiters and waitresses, all right? I've gained your life. I've put on your heaviness, your immenseness. Often, especially, I just keep thinking of this as a narcissist of some kind or somebody like that, just because they're just everywhere now. So when you take on somebody who can be toxic and negative all the time, you're just taking on a very, very weighty thing. It's all in my head, tell me now. And then you want them to, you want the narcissist or the abusive, toxic person to change. And unfortunately, if it's a chronic personality disorder like narcissist, I'm not a therapist or anything. I'm just giving you my pop opinion here. But if it is somebody with a chronic personality disorder or syndrome or cluster or something like that, it takes a long time for them to change. And you want them to change, but they're not going to change sometimes. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. And this seems like she's saying, this is it. You have to tell me I'm wrong. You have to you've done all these awful things, and I'm at the end. I have too much evidence. You're awful. You're a bad person to be with. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me you're not this bad person. I like that sentiment. I think it's very honest. And I think it's very real. It's very human. We don't want our relationships to end. When we realize somebody's being awful to us, it's not a good thing. It's not something we like. It's not, even though maybe an important realization, it's not a fun realization. So thank you so much for checking out this video. If you check this out on YouTube, I just jumped on the Reddit and looked at a whole bunch of fun stuff about this song. Well, fun. Reddit posts about this song and what it means to people. It was really interesting. I feel somewhat vindicated and somewhat educated. Check that out if you would like on my Patreon. Remember, you can just sign up for free and then leave if you don't like the content. Just you get charged at the beginning of the month. Always remember that. So that's it. Thank you so much to everybody for watching. And thank you to my patrons especially. And until next time, keep playing. Yeah.